Think about it for a moment. If sex alone kept a man committed, no woman would ever get ghosted after being intimate with someone. But it happens all the time, and that tells you something important. Sex by itself is never enough. What keeps him, what makes him attach, what makes him want only you happens afterward. And that's the part almost nobody discusses. The reason it's rarely talked about is because what happens in those quiet minutes after intimacy can either build a deep emotional bond or create distance. And most women, without meaning to, end up choosing the path that leads to detachment. The truth is that there is a very real neurochemical window that opens right after sex, a moment where his brain is deciding if you're someone he wants to connect with long term or someone he liked but can walk away from easily. That window doesn't stay open for long, and how you move through it shapes everything that happens next. Many women make the mistake of becoming anxious or overly focused on reassurance the moment intimacy ends, while others shut down emotionally to avoid feeling vulnerable. Both reactions close that bonding window and push him away at the exact moment when he's most open to falling in deeper. But when you understand how male bonding works and how to create emotional safety in those delicate post-intimacy moments, you naturally become the woman he keeps thinking about, the one he doesn't want to lose, the one he feels drawn toward again and again without you ever chasing him. Hi, in this video, we're going to talk about the 5 steps to guide that post-intimacy bonding window in a way that pulls him closer without pressure, without fear, and without you ever needing to pretend. Once you know how to create emotional safety during his most tender moments, you don't just become unforgettable to him. You strengthen his attachment without looking needy or trying too hard. The first step is simply understanding that this bonding window exists. Right after intimacy, men experience huge shifts in oxytocin and dopamine, creating a 15 to 30-minute period where his emotional guard drops and his brain becomes wired for either connection or retreat. In that time, his nervous system is in a fragile state. The same hormones that created pleasure now flood his mind with either warmth and closeness or worry and the desire to pull back. What many women don't realize is that during this time, he becomes extremely sensitive to your energy, your tone, and your emotional state. He is picking up on signals without even knowing he's doing it. He's feeling out whether the experience made him feel safer with you or whether he needs to protect himself. It's almost like his emotional firewall is temporarily turned off. Usually men have strong internal defenses that stop them from bonding too quickly. But in these rare minutes right after sex, those defenses fade, making him more open to love than at almost any other time. This is why the same physical experience can lead to either him becoming more attached than ever or him disappearing the next day. It's never about the sex itself, it's about what happens in the moments that come after. Once you understand how powerful this window is, you gain an incredible amount of influence in the relationship, not through manipulation but through awareness. Instead of accidentally triggering his withdrawal during his most exposed moment, you can create a calm atmosphere that makes him associate intimacy with you as something comforting, grounding, and emotionally fulfilling. The next step is to avoid slipping into performance mode too quickly. Here's the part most women never realize: the urge to talk a lot, ask questions, or look for reassurance right after intimacy usually comes from nervousness. And that anxious feeling is exactly what shuts down the bonding window and wakes up his instinct to pull away. In those first few minutes, a lot of women feel the need to fill the silence with questions, small talk, or comments about how things went. This comes from wanting connection, but it ends up doing the opposite. When you rush into talking or seeking validation, you take the focus away from the shared moment and place it on worry or insecurity. Men are unusually sensitive to pressure during this time. Questions like, "Did you like that?" or what are you thinking, or even trying to start a whole conversation about something random can make him feel emotionally crowded. It sends his nervous system the message that you're not relaxed with intimacy, which makes him tense up too. The truth is simple: pressure breaks bonding, presence builds it. When you can just exist in the moment without trying to check anything, fix anything, or define anything, you create a calm feeling that he starts to link with you. Instead of jumping in to fill the quiet with words, allow yourself to simply be in that shared space with him. Let your breathing settle, let the warmth of the moment linger. Stay close to the feeling without needing to turn it into a discussion or a performance. That quiet comfort is what opens his heart far more than any question or reassurance ever could. This kind of presence, being fully at ease with quiet closeness, is rare and unbelievably attractive to men because it shows emotional maturity and real comfort with vulnerability. When a woman can sit in those soft seconds after intimacy without reaching for noise or reassurance, it tells him she has a deep emotional center. Step number 3. Anchor him with admiration. What if the difference between him wanting to stay close versus needing distance has nothing to do with the intimacy you shared and everything to do with whether you look to him for validation or offer genuine appreciation in those tender moments afterward? Instead of asking questions like, "Do you love me?" or "Was that amazing for you?" which places emotional pressure on him to respond a certain way, try offering quiet admiration that makes him feel valued. You might say something like, "I love how safe you make me feel," or "You're so gentle with me." The psychology behind this is powerful. Men bond through feeling appreciated and successful, not through being questioned or needing to give reassurance on command. When you anchor the after intimacy moment with appreciation rather than worry, you meet his deep need to feel capable while forming positive emotional ties to being close with you. This works because it turns the experience into connection instead of evaluation. Instead of feeling like he's being graded or tested, he feels celebrated and seen, which opens his heart instead of making him tighten up. Think of it like the difference between a job review and a heartfelt compliment. A job review makes you tense and guarded, while genuine appreciation makes you relax and want to stay close to the person offering it. When you consistently anchor intimate moments with gratitude instead of fear, you become the woman who makes him feel the most valued and understood, which creates the kind of emotional attachment that lasts far beyond physical attraction. From what I've seen, men form the strongest bonds with women who know how to appreciate them during their most vulnerable moments because it builds a sense of emotional safety that lets them show their true selves without worrying about judgment or criticism. Step number 4, use soft presence, not clinginess. While many women believe staying physically wrapped around him after intimacy creates bonding, the most magnetic approach is soft presence, calm touch, relaxed energy, gentle stillness, and comfortable silence that encourages safety instead of pressure. There is a big difference between being present and being clingy. Soft presence means you're comfortable in your own body and energy while sharing space with him. It might be a gentle hand resting on his chest, breathing in harmony with him, or simply lying beside him without needing anything from him in that moment. Clinginess, however, springs from anxiety and the fear that if you let go even a little, he will drift away emotionally. That kind of energy feels overwhelming to men in their vulnerable post-intimacy state and activates their instinct to create distance. The psychology behind this is simple. Safety leads to closeness, while clinginess leads to withdrawal. When you know how to be near him without depending on him emotionally, when you can be present without demanding anything from him, you create exactly the environment where his bonding chemicals can work their deepest magic. Think of it like being a warm, soft blanket versus a tight rope. A blanket feels comforting and safe. You want to stay in it. A rope feels restrictive and tight. You want to break free from it. But here's what most women struggle with when trying to create this soft presence after intimacy. They aren't sure how to show they're open and connected while still keeping the independence that makes men feel relaxed and attracted. The challenge is expressing that you enjoyed the closeness and want more of it without giving the impression that you'll become possessive or demanding if he doesn't instantly return the same level of emotional intensity. This is why learning how to balance your emotional openness is so important, because men need to feel that you're genuinely available for deeper connection without feeling pressure to deliver it immediately or constantly. The difference between women who deepen intimacy and those who accidentally trigger distance often comes down to the small ways they express affection that feel inviting instead of overwhelming. Comment presence, and I'll show you the 3 exact ways to express emotional availability without triggering his need for space, and exactly how to be warm and loving without turning clingy or overly dependent. Step number 5, create an emotional memory. Men don't just remember the physical moment during intimacy, they remember how they felt in the moments afterward, and the emotional memory created in those soft minutes often decides whether he starts craving more closeness with you or mentally pulling back. This is about understanding that the feeling you help him experience during those vulnerable moments becomes the emotional fingerprint he attaches to being close with you. If the experience consistently feels gentle, warm, and deeply connecting, those feelings get stored in his mind and tied directly to you. Creating beautiful emotional memories might involve sharing quiet laughter about something sweet that happened, holding soft eye contact that feels caring rather than intense, or simply enjoying a moment of shared peace without needing to dissect or explain anything. The key is that whatever emotion fills this window becomes part of his natural association with intimacy with you. If the moments afterward consistently feel warm and emotionally safe, his mind begins to crave that feeling again, which means craving you. The more peaceful, sweet, and emotionally grounding the experience becomes, the more he returns, not because he feels obligated, but because his heart and body both feel drawn back to the emotional comfort you provide. When a man feels that being near you brings emotional calm instead of emotional work, he naturally allows himself to bond more deeply. Your presence becomes a place his mind returns to, even when you're not around, because the emotional memory you created makes him feel understood and accepted in a way that is rare and unforgettable. Think of it like emotional conditioning, something that slowly shapes the way he reacts to you without him even realizing it. Every intimate moment leaves a mark on his nervous system. It creates some kind of emotional association, whether good or bad. It either builds peaceful, warm feelings like calmness, safety, joy, comfort, closeness, and quiet happiness, or it builds heavy feelings like pressure, anxiety, emotional confusion, stress, or a sense of being overwhelmed. These moments stick to him more than anything you say. They become the emotional memory his body remembers long after the moment is gone. And the surprising thing is that intimacy doesn't bond him because of the physical part alone. It bonds him because of what his heart and mind feel during and after it. When you can consistently create positive emotional impressions during the moments when he is the most vulnerable, when his guard is naturally down and he is not trying to perform or impress, you become someone he cannot replace. Not because you are perfect or because you do something dramatic, but because the emotional experience you offer is something he doesn't get from other people. It's the feeling of being seen, accepted, and emotionally safe in ways he didn't even know he needed. This is what makes someone unforgettable. And the most powerful emotional memories are almost always the simplest ones. They are not the grand gestures or the big dramatic scenes. They are the quiet moments that feel real. It's the comfortable silence where neither of you needs to talk to feel close. It's the moment you both laugh at something small and the happiness feels honest and light. It's when he looks at you and realizes he can breathe around you, or when you lie next to each other and the room feels softer and the world feels less stressful, simply because you are there. It's the way he feels when he doesn't have to pretend, doesn't have to impress, and doesn't feel judged. These simple emotional memories stay with him long after the moment has passed. They replay in his mind when he is alone. They shape how he thinks about you and what he ultimately decides about the relationship. But here's something important I want you to hold on to. Once you understand how to navigate the bonding window after intimacy, you will never again feel confused about why some men suddenly disappear after sex, while others become more attached and even clingier. You won't blame yourself. You won't think you did something wrong. You'll understand that the way a man behaves after intimacy shows his emotional readiness, his maturity, his intentions, and the truth of what he's looking for. And once you know how to guide that emotional window, you'll begin to see patterns in men very clearly. But here is what most women never expect. When they finally learn how to create this deep emotional bond after intimacy, they start noticing something surprising. They start to see that not every man responds the same way. Some men appreciate the closeness and the emotional comfort you provide, but they still don't move the relationship forward. They enjoy the warmth, the connection, the affection, and the emotional stability you give them, but they don't give anything real back. They don't make plans. They don't initiate more emotional investment. They don't talk about a future. They don't open up their real life to you. They might love the connection, but they don't want responsibility. And on the other hand, some men become emotionally attached, but as you get closer, they reveal concerning behaviors. They might get possessive or inconsistent or emotionally unpredictable or avoidant. They might start acting like they want you deeply one moment and then pull away the next. They might show signs that they enjoy everything you give emotionally, but they aren't genuinely serious about building a relationship. They might talk emotionally, but their actions don't match. They might show affection, but they avoid commitment conversations. They might use their feelings as a way to keep you emotionally invested, while they keep everything relaxed and undefined. The challenge is learning how to tell the difference between a man who is actually bonding with you on a real level versus a man who is simply enjoying what you give him because it feels good in the moment. This is not easy to see at first, because both types of men can act similar in the beginning. Both may enjoy the closeness. Both may stay connected after intimacy. Both may say nice things. Both may treat you well for a time. But the difference shows up in the patterns, in the consistency, in the way he behaves when he doesn't need anything from you, and especially in the way he acts after the emotional high fades. Some men enjoy intimacy because it fills a temporary hole inside them. It gives them validation, comfort, warmth, attention, and emotional nourishment, but they have no intention of giving anything back in return. They don't want to build. They don't want to grow something meaningful. They just want the feeling, and when they get that feeling, they stay. When they get bored or feel pressured to commit, they pull away. They take the emotional benefits without offering a real future. This is the part that hurts the most. When a man uses your softness, your empathy, your nurturing, and your emotional depth to make himself feel better, while keeping his options open and making no solid effort to build something stable with you. There are clear behaviors that reveal when this is happening, and these behaviors show up most clearly right after intimate moments, because that is when he is the most unfiltered. It's when the act is over, when the emotional high settles, when the hormones come down, and when the real version of him appears. If he becomes distant, emotionally checked out, distracted, or cold, that tells you more than anything he said before. If he becomes warm, stable, attentive, and consistent that also tells you his heart is actually involved. This is why knowing the warning signs is so important. It's not to make you suspicious, it's not to make you guarded or fearful, it's to help you protect your heart. These signs help you tell the difference between a man who is truly falling for you and a man who is only enjoying the parts of you that make his life easier, softer, and more emotionally satisfying, while keeping everything casual for himself. These signs help you see who is ready for something real and who is only ready for convenience. When you understand them, you stop getting stuck on men who don't want anything real. You stop wasting years on uncertainty. You stop believing words more than actions. You stop confusing chemistry with commitment. So if you want to truly understand the subtle signals that show when he's using you instead of genuinely investing in you, you need to see what these signs look like in real life. And that's exactly what our new video will reveal. It will walk you through the 5 behaviors that expose his real intentions in a way that is clear, simple, and easy to recognize. Please click on the video that's appearing on your screen right now and you'll learn exactly what to look for so you never again mistake temporary attention for genuine love.